Welcome to the SA Women Do Dubai podcast, hosted by Dr Mbokota, the podcast that empowers and connects like-minded businesswomen around the world. Hashtag it can be done.
Good evening, My name is Dr Mbokota. I'm your host tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Please tell your brothers and sisters to tune in. The Queen is in the house. In this platform, we believe in women empowerment, women doing it for themselves, women winning, and giving hope to other women. Happy Friday to our viewers at home. Happy Women's Month to our listeners and queens at home. Tonight, we have our special guest. She was one of the speakers. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every queen who made Fixing Each Other's Crown event to be a success. If it wasn't you, the event wouldn't be a success. In this platform today, we have Dr. Ntsako. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a queen, she's a medical doctor by profession, she's the founder of Dr. Drnmaesthetics. Above all, she's a woman who believes in fixing each other's crown. Dr. Ntsako, you are welcome. Can you tell us more about yourself?
Oh, thank you so much for having me on this amazing platform. Thank you to all of the guests on the platform for also tuning in. So my name is Dr. Ntsako Mbokota. As mentioned, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, a queen, but I want to talk to you today about Dr. Drnmaesthetics, which is my baby, my medical practice. So Dr. Drnmaesthetics is the practice that was founded in 2021, right after the COVID-19 pandemic. It is a platform, or not even a platform, it's a practice that is very close to my heart. Dr. Drnmaesthetics is a practice that specializes in the wellness, looking at the woman's health, body, and the skin holistically. And we are about rejuvenating the woman. We're about restoring the woman. We're about uplifting the woman, a woman's confidence. You know, when you look at a woman's face and there are things like pimples, you realize that, you know what, the confidence of a woman goes down. But when we are able to sort out all of that, then, you know, your woman's confidence lifts up and she becomes a queen that she's meant to be. So aesthetic medicine is one of my absolute passions. And that is why I established that practice in brief. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much. Will tell us more about your practice. But now I want to go back to the conference because you were bouncing back. You taught us to bounce back. You said to us, regardless of what we are going through, but we need to bounce back. I think when you were bouncing back, that's when this baby that you love so much was born. So now let's recap on what you were talking about in the conference.
Because let me tell you, ladies, you will go through a point in your life where you need to bounce back. And I am so glad to be in this Fixing Each Other's Crowns conference to give you the 7 points. Point number 1, when you reach the ground, when your all is finished, when that car is being repossessed, when as a doctor, you have to rely on your family members to give you money, go back to your maker. You need to get on your knees. Woman of God, you need to get on your knees and say, Father, I come before you. My life is a mess. You have given me what you have given me, and Lord, just like Job, you have taken it away. And situation, I need to be put back together again. Point number 1, go back to the maker. Point number 2, as I check my notes quickly, you need to repent, lady. As a high-flying human being, I believe maybe I had allowed pride into my life. And I needed to go back and say, Lord, I repent. I repent of what I did because I don't know why I'm in this situation. But clearly something happened. It could have been that I carried something too heavy for my load, and now as I'm walking, I miss my step. It could have been that I went at a pace that was too fast for me because I wanted to reach that pinnacle too quickly and not allow other women to fix my crown. In the process. Number 3, I had to go back home as a woman with my children and live with my parents for 3 months. You need to allow people who love you to take care of you. I'm a pastor's daughter, and while I was home with my mom, who's a pastor, we prayed for 2 months straight. And she was saying, Ntsako, something happened. The doctors don't know what's going on with you. You have no idea what's going on with you. I said, but Mama, when I walk, I can't balance. And she said, yes, I know. Oh, but greater is He that is in you than the one that is in the world. He knows what happened to you. And if you are broken, He's going to put you back together again. So woman, queen, you can get back up again. The next step, forgive. Yeah. I had to dig back and be like, Lord, I forgive my mother-in-law. I forgive her. I forgive that husband of mine for not being the man that I thought he would be, for not treating me the way he should have treated me. I forgive that woman who spoke negatively about me and said I am too dark. I forgive her. And as I was forgiving her, as I was walking, less and less, I wouldn't miss my step. I started to now walk as I forgave. The next step, forgive. Number 5, ask for help and accept help. My big sister gave me her car to use. Mind you, I am a doctor. I go to work with my sister's car. Accept help and ask for help. I think out of all these ones, this was my hardest pill to swallow. I could not believe it. I had never thought in my wildest dreams that I would have to accept a car from a sibling. Because I've got it all together. My crown was straight, or so I thought. But that day, the bank came and sent a man to collect my car. I couldn't even stand and face him. Accept help. And then number 6, start again. Begin again. When I met Sister Kani, I explained my story to her. And I said, I invited her to my new practice. And I said, it's a small practice. It's called Dr. Aesthetics, Dr. Ntsako Mbokota Aesthetics. Why? Because I am rebranding my name. No longer am I in the government sector. Now I do my own things. Start last point as I go and sit down, realize it is a journey. As I was driving, my husband was driving me here. I said, love, my shoulders are still stiff. Am I going to be able to stand in front of the queens? He said, yes. And you will not miss your step. You will not stumble. You will not fall. Because you have been called for such a time as this. Your story needs to change the women's lives, and they need to know that they can begin again, that they can start again. Oh, but the shame. Oh, but my God is there. Oh, I will lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help cometh from the Lord, the one who made heaven. He does not sleep, he does not slumber. The one who watches over me, the great I am. So when I walk, I will not stumble. And he brought me here today to a room filled with queens because my crown needs to be fixed. My confidence was hit. My finances were destroyed. But I know that greater is he that is in me than the one that is in the world. I just want to say thank you for this opportunity, my ladies. Thank you so much.
Hello, Sister Ntsako.
Hello. Wow.
Are you happy when you see yourself?
Sure, I'm almost in tears. Like I'm looking up. I'm like, where's my tissue? Yeah. What an emotional thing to see. You know your story out there, and it's listening to it. I realized how I was so what's the word? I wasn't hiding anything. I wanted to share my heart to the queens that day to say, we can bounce back, even with such a dire story, even with things that happen to us. It can be health challenges. It can be repossession of cars. It can be your house being repossessed. It can be whatever it is, you can bounce back with the help of the Lord. Yeah.
I just want to add that I think women that day they gave us it was so warm so that you can be yourself and you can share your heart. And thank you for sharing your heart, and thank you for allowing women to understand that indeed it can be done and you can bounce back. But what I want to know from you is when you were going through that bed, when you think like there's nothing that you can do, or maybe you have lost hope, but what makes you to believe that I can rise again?
What made me believe that I can rise again, first of all, is the support of those who are around me. Of course, when you are rooted in faith and then you have the support of people around you, they remind you of who you are. They remind you of what is in you. They remind you of what you have achieved previously. And they even tell you that, listen, this situation does not define you. You are not the situation. You are still Ntsako, just going through a situation. So when they reminded me of that, it gave me the hope to say, you know what, something is going to change one day and I just need to hold on. Yeah.
And after everything that you went through, before your sickness or whatever that went through, you were working for government.
Yeah.
But what inspired you to become a doctor when you were young? And what inspired you to leave government and start your own business?
Wow. So mine is a very amazing story. So I am, let me start it from the beginning. I think we've got some time for me to just quickly summarize it. So my mom was a teacher at Dinga village. And when pregnant with me at the time, she met missionaries from the United Kingdom, Constance and Wilfred King. And they then went back to the UK. And funny enough, when Constance passed away, she wrote in her will that there is a particular woman I met in Dinga village who is pregnant with, who was pregnant. And when the daughter or son is born, if it's a girl, name her Constance, which is my other name. If it's a boy, name him Wilfred. Okay, great. Long story short, the Constance Cave Foundation paid for my schooling throughout my lifetime. I have family in the United Kingdom, Tony and Franza, who are actually children of Constance and Wilfred, are the ones that I then went and met in the United Kingdom and continued from there. So I used to write letters to them and tell them that I love helping people and I would love to be a doctor one day. And they said, the sky is the limit, my girl. We'll pay for your university fees. And that's what they did. All you need to do is to pass. And they got me throughout university and I made it as a doctor. And always in my heart, it has been that I want to help people. Fast forward, I went through all the different steps in medicine, intern, medical officer. I ran a GP practice for 3 years. And then I went and decided to specialize in hematology. Now, before choosing hematology, I loved aesthetics. But I thought, the machinery and all those things that you need to do aesthetics is too expensive. And I said, you know what? My second choice is hematology. In hematology, as I continued, just before finishing the specialization was when the illness hit. It hit so bad that I couldn't finish. And I had to leave to recuperate at home. And when I left, we sat down and spoke with my husband and my parents and all of that. And they said, Ntsako, tell us, what exactly do you love in medicine? And I said, I love aesthetics. I love the wellness of women. I love to see women looking good and feeling good about themselves. And that is why when Dr. Drnmaesthetics was born. And that's the practice that I have today.
Wow. So through your sickness and that's when this baby was born. So when you were there, you were like, oh God, I want to live so that I can open my own practice, so that I can fulfill my dream.
Yes.
Okay, what is hematology?
So hematology is a specialization of the blood cancers, blood disorders, and just the blood as a whole. When you look at the health of a human being, if you want to see what's wrong with someone, you need to test their blood. And that is what I was doing. So all the blood disorders, all the cancers in the blood, all the leukemias, lymphomas, hemophilias, all of that, I am very, very confident in testing them. And I would look down the microscope. My job was to diagnose. So I would sit and look down the microscope and be able to diagnose what illness the patient has, write a report to all the other doctors, GPs, gynecologists, all of those other specialities, and tell them this is what you need to do to treat your patient. Yes.
I'm going back to your 7 steps to bounce back.
Yes.
You said you have to start again.
Yes.
How did you start again?
So here's another story. Can you see this painting behind me?
Yes.
I painted this painting. So when I was praying and asking to be revived again, I got given a gift of artwork. And through that gift, my confidence started to come back again. So I would sit at home and I would I purchased canvases. Go with my husband. He had to hold my hand because walking was a bit difficult. And I would get canvases and paint brushes. Then I would be painting. And as I continued to paint, and I think as I poured my emotions onto the canvas, the healing started to occur. But then I discovered that there's a gift as well on top of it. But then after that, I started to get stronger and stronger. And when I was strong enough, and I mean, I don't mean like very, very strong, but enough for me to go for 1 hour and come back. I said, I'm going to do it. Even if it means I am there for 1 hour, I see one patient and I come back. Tomorrow, if I'm strong enough, I'll see 2 patients and I'll come back. And the funny thing is when I would be in the practice working, the symptoms seemed to melt away and I would get the strength to actually do what I need to do and come back. And gradually, just like that, I healed completely.
Okay, so you spoke about you have to realize that it's a journey. So define it because you were just giving us some pointers, but now because we have the opportunity to be with you, just explain to us.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is, a lot of us believe that to be restored or to recover or to bounce back means that I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll have a bank balance of, I don't know, 1 million, if you had that before. Or I will be so strong enough that I'll go. Now the Comrades Marathon is happening, that I'll go to the Comrades Marathon. By saying that it is a journey, it means that healing is a step-by-step process. It is something that you need to give yourself time to just get restored. Give yourself time to understand that the finances will be restored gradually. Give yourself time to understand that the practice will grow gradually. Give yourself time to understand that you are healed as much as you may be feeling the symptoms. I hope I make sense. Healing has already occurred, but because Dr. Ntsako, you were going to speak at the conference, you may have felt stiffness of the neck. That does not mean that you are still ill. It's gone. That's what I mean by it's a journey. And as you go in that journey, you need to realize that you need to put back everything that happened in the past and say, even if I'm still feeling the symptoms, Mina, I am healed. Even if my bank balance is not where I want it to be, I know it's going to be get back to where it needs to be. Even if, for example, I had a GP practice in Vereeniging, and I ran it for about 3 to 4 years. It was a very, very busy practice. And I wanted, when I started Dr. Drnmaesthetics, I wanted that same pace of growth. And I realized, no, this is a journey. The pace will be different, but eventually I'm going to get to where I was before.
Wow. Yeah, I understand. Like when you're building a business, it doesn't happen like gradually. And that's why we are keep on saying, let's fix each other's crown because you must understand that it's a journey. You must grow and you grow. I'm in construction, so I understand the growth because you start from grade 1 and then you go to grade 3, grade 4. But the most important thing, you must keep on pushing. You must fight to bounce back. You must not give up because of what has happened to you. We have 2 people. I just want to ask in our midst if there's someone who wants to say something to Dr. Ntsako, or just a comment or a motivation or a question. Is there anyone who wants to say something? Says Bella. Mama. Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm well.
Yes. We are bouncing back as queens. You can see we are wearing our crown to say so that we are fixing each other's crown. And we are talking about bouncing back. We have a queen who's bouncing back. We are saying, do you want to say something to her, or you want to ask anything, or just a comment, or just to say, Queen, you are beautiful?
Oh yeah, I like the confidence that the doctor is showing. Yeah, it has uplifted me because even if she sees one patient or whatever, she is working with passion. So that's what I love. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Do you want to say anything to her?
Yeah. Continue to be a leader. I can see you are a pace setter. You are not a follower. So continue to do that. Well done. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Is there anyone who wants to say something? We have Matimo. Do you want to say something?
Yes, evening queens.
Hi. Hi, Matimu.
Yes, I'd like to speak to the doctor. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the courage that you've shown us. And that I want to say, as a young queen growing up, a lot of us these days, we are pressured into thinking that we are living in a world whereby it is given to us in a silver platter. But once a queen like you raises points and shows us that you've been there and you went ahead of us, and there are stumbling blocks that someone can come across, it's really encouraging to young queens like us to know that um, not every day you wake up and be on top of the world, and that's okay. I think if there's one thing that I've learned from you, you taught me that whenever life hits you, even if it can hit you so hard, you must always remember who you are. And you must always remember the goals that you set. I like how you said you used painting um, to bounce back. You use painting to communicate with the world, to say, hey, I'm still alive. I saw those bright colors. You said you painted that painting when you were still in pain, but you used bright colors. You didn't use dull colors, as in like to show your pain, but you used bright colors to show that you still want to live and that there's more that you still want to give the world. So I would like, I'm really inspired. I'm inspired.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Doc, do you want to say something to Matimo as a young girl, as a young queen?
Oh, Matimu, what? Sure. I am so touched that you're really inspired. You know, there's as young women, we sometimes put so much pressure on ourselves to overachieve, to do things so quickly, to prove, I don't know to who, that we are capable. But you know, I just want to say that a step-by-step journey, you will get there. You will make it. And it's just always so important to wake up in the morning and just remind yourself that, you know what, I am capable. I can do it. And even if I am in a particular situation that has forced me into a corner, I'm going to get out. I am going to get out. So Matimo, just keep going, keep on being happy and having that smile and just lifting your head up and saying, no, God help me through everything, and you will achieve all that you dream of.
And what I can add is like, Matimo, focus on the vision, focus on where you are going, regardless of what is happening. Do not listen on the noise or discouragement or anything. If you know where you are going, one day you'll make it. Thank you. We have Mama Ramutwana. Are you here, Mama? We have Mama Mpo, our doctor. Do you want to say something?
Oh, come on, I put the glyph. Yes. Unless it's no.
Hi, Tsakani. Hi, Ntsako.
Hello.
I joined in late, but I'll catch up on Facebook. I couldn't log in earlier on. But you're looking bright. You are an inspiration. You know, I'm carrying your words from the conference throughout the week. They carried me. I was even repeating them to the patient this morning. So I like what you said. It really spoke to me.
Keep
Keep up the good work, Queen.
Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you, Doctor. We have Judy. Judy, do you want to say something?
Yes, please, Queen.
Thank you, Queen.
Good evening, all queens that are connected here. Good evening, Dr. Tsakani and Dr. Ntsako. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share my experience when Dr. Ntsako was sharing last Saturday. Oh, it was powerful. What I can say is during that service when she was ministering, when she was giving us a life testimony, you don't even know how many people were healed. And you don't even know how many people were so touched. The atmosphere became very emotional. Myself, I also got emotional. My niece that I was with, she was actually crying. We had to wipe tears. Was this someone who had got exactly the same case with Dr. Ntsako, where she's fallen from a hero to a zero and she's crying every day. She doesn't know whether she'll pick up her pieces again. But she was so healed and encouraged and inspired. I actually had to force her to come with me. And she kept on all the way saying, you don't even know how you've changed my life. That testimony, it's my life testimony. So, Dr. Ntsako, that testimony, it was a healing, what can I say? It was a healing therapy in a way. It was really where people are hearing it to say, oh, if even learned people can go through this kind of downfall, who am I? I also revisited my past and I reflected how I felt also after I lost my husband in 2013. Everything died. Like I was ushered into another world where everything just died. You start from scratch. Then slowly I pick up my pieces, slowly. So I was like thinking when you were just trying to say, I wish I had come across this kind of a message. I could have picked up my pieces quickly than the delay that I went through. So I want to say thank you very much. I was so inspired. It was so motivating that we can go through a lot of challenges in life, but there's what is called bounce back in life. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you, Queen Judy. Thank you for the encouragement. I'm seeing a hand, but I cannot locate it. Mama Ramutwala, do you want to say something? Mama? Tabi? Queen Tabi?
Hey, you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Queen?
I'm good. Do you want to say something to Dr. Ntsako?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Doc. I also had the same situation with his Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I also have the same situation with her when my husband left Botswana to come to South Africa. I had to go back also and stay with my family. And the fight was between him and me and my auntie. So I also had to go back and forgive her. So when she was teaching us about that, I was also reviewing some of the things that I also went through that and all those things. So sometimes when you don't hear from another testimony from the next person, you think maybe you are alone or you went through all those things alone. But when someone is speaking about it or teaching about it, you also review and go back and see that I've realized that in life, each and every thing happened to you for a reason. So yes, I want to thank you Doc, for the teaching. It was so emotional. I was also crying with the next person which I was sitting with. She was also crying. So it was so touching and emotional. At the end of the day, we were also feeling that, that release to say, oh, so I was not alone. These things, they happen in life. So thank you so much, Doc.
It's just, oh,
Yeah, my stuff. And Kazi. So we have Dr. Ramutwala. I think she's trying to connect, but something is happening, but she can join us as we go. I want to ask you something.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Doctor, thank you very much. You know, you motivated me a lot. I've learned that tough times never last, only tough people do. You are really an inspiration in our lives. Keep on doing the good work. Keep on keeping on. We are learning a lot from you. And thank you very much, Sister Kani, for the opportunity of having her in our midst. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for encouraging her. As we continue to fix each other, we need people that will teach us how to bounce back. You know, when you are going through something, you think like it's the end of the road. But when other sisters come to you and say, you know, Queen, you can do it, and you learn from that. So, say, Doctor, you are the
yes.
today. Who are the 3 most influential people in your life?
Wow, what a question. Without a doubt, number one would be my mother. You know, when I saw your conference of fixing each other's crown, I said, yeah, if mom was here, she holds her own, what we call together as one, as women. She gets women together and fills a stadium with women. So I come from greatness, I must say. I have to honor her and say that she has instilled in me, the ability to speak, the confidence. There's something that she used to do as we were growing up in the passages. She'd say, before we go to church, she'd say, "Miphathe njani?" That's in Xitsonga. How are you girls dress? You need to be a woman who takes pride in the way she dresses. Lift your head up high. Do not walk bowed down. You are a queen, just like so. That's how I related to fixing each other's crown, because I had been taught from a young age that I'm a queen. And no matter what happens to me, I believe that immediately when the illness hit, it came back to me that I need to rush back to the pillar with my mom. So that's the first person. And then second person who I regard highly be my husband. He has been a great support, the person who would hold my hand as we're stumbling together in the shops. And we would say, today we're going to the veggie shop, going to buy one veggie and go out. And then the next day would say, no, now we're going to macro. I'd be like, yo, macro is too big. He'd say, no, we're going to macro. And then we would tackle macro. That person would be someone called Tony Jones, who is in the United Kingdom. Tony is my second mom. Tony is the one who, um, um, organized through the Constance K Foundation to pay for my schooling. Tony is someone who would always say, Ntsako, you just got this amazing spirit, my girl. The world is your oyster. And to hear that from someone who's not even of your same skin color, but who believes in you as a queen, I've had her in my life, all my life, and she's spoken words of life into me. Even recently when we spoke and I told her about my illness, she says, "Oh, but my girl, you're strong." And I said, "No, I've been made strong by the Lord." And she says, "No, there's a tenacity inside of you that keeps on going no matter what." And yeah, so those are the three pillars. Yes.
I'm asking just so that we understand you. What are things that you wish you know before you start your career?
I wish I knew that it is a journey, not a marathon. I wish I knew that it doesn't matter if you are a specialist or not. I wish I knew that, it's all about what you give to the next person. It's not about the title. I wish I knew that. And I would have been content with where I was and what I had. And I believe I wouldn't have taken on too much that was too much of a load. And the one of the things about bouncing back is realizing even in life that it's a journey. It's a journey with raising the kids. It's a journey with getting to that big house that you dream of living in. It's a journey of, like you said, Sitsakani, that you're in construction. You grow from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. But if you were to get a contract of level 4 with a level 1 qualification, that building would most likely collapse.
Okay.
Because you've got no skills. Yes.
Okay. On your spare time, what do you listen and what do you read?
Okay, so my spare time is filled with a lot of painting. So that's the one thing that I do. I paint a lot. Okay, what do I read? I love reading. Recently I was reading Crushing by T.D. Jakes, and I love reading Miles Monroe's, Dr. Miles Monroe books. And so I'm all about the inspirational books. I'm all about those books that leave you understanding what happened. When I was reading that Crushing of by T.D. Jakes, he spoke of an analogy of grapes when they're crushed in order to produce the wine eventually. And if the grape just wanted to remain plump and juicy and purple and nice right there, the wine would never be produced. So that to me brought context into understanding why I had to go through what I went through, because it was a crushing to ensure that, something is birthed, like Dr. Drnmaesthetics, like an ability to go and speak to ladies and say, listen, even if you were at a level of a specialist and everything comes tumbling down, there is an ability to bounce back. And I'm so excited that in that process, I got my gift of painting. Love it. Love it. Yes.
Well, you were in training and you were in the moment to find yourself, to know who you are, to understand the queen in you. What is the biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
So the biggest failure, that is an interesting question. The biggest failure, you see, that question is it's one that I used to believe in the past. Not finishing hematology for me felt like a failure. But now I actually realize that not finishing hematology birthed something so beautiful, So I no longer look at it as a failure. I look at it as a crushing to produce something new. So what can I say? The biggest failure would be most likely that, if we want to call it a failure. What I learned from that, what did I learn? I learned that no matter what task you get given to do, pace yourself. Mhm. If you're starting the business, because this is, a business platform, pace yourself. And I remind myself every day when I'm in Dr. Drnmaesthetics and I want, to go from doing a patient's skin to doing liposuction or hair, you know, hair restoration in theater. I'm like, that's, we're not going back where we were. We are pacing ourselves. We are taking it one step at a time. You will get to a point where you are able to do, hair restoration in theater. But for now, do what you can in the rooms that you have. Pace yourself. Because if you run, you might just not get to the finish line. But if you walk at a particular pace, eventually you will finish.
Wow. So if you were in my chair, if you were me, what question you wished I should have asked you that I did not ask you?
Um, that's very, very interesting. Where do I see myself in the future? Where do I see, for example, Dr. Drnmaesthetics? Where do I see myself as in business? I think that would be one of the interesting questions um, to be asked.
Okay, so
Yeah. Thank you.
you can just tell me where do you see yourself in the future, and also explain more with what you can also explain to us what you are doing and what inspired you to start that, and advise other women who are interested in doing what you are doing.
Okay, brilliant. So let's start with, where do I see Dr. Drnmaesthetics in 5 years? Wow. I see your multi-room clinic with amazing state-of-the-art, technology to assist women in achieving their health, their beauty, and just that rejuvenation that they need. So what is Dr. Drnmaesthetics? It's an aesthetics medical practice where, with the experience that I got from hematology, which means that I've learned about the blood, I am able to extrapolate that experience and be able to treat a woman or a man, for example, if you're coming in with acne. When I do the blood test and I realize you've actually got vitamin D deficiency. So I'm not actually just treating, the surface only, but also holistically. So that's why I say the hematology experience was not a loss. It's actually a very big gain on my side in my practice. We look at the skin. We look at cellulite treatment. We look at, just rejuvenating the skin in terms of, wrinkles, all those anti-aging treatments, treating the acne, treating the hyperpigmentation. With the experience of COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of ladies who actually contracted COVID-19, you see it in their face with the long-term effects. And Dr. Drnmaesthetics is really, really passionate about restoring you back to what you used to be pre the pandemic. That's the one aspect. Then there's the body aspect. We focus a lot on weight loss with the lipolytic injections, with the machineries that we use to help you to lose weight, but also with the lifestyle changes and the dietary changes that need to occur. I went through a schooling of how to eat with my health issues. So now I'm able to understand that you are what you eat. You are what you eat. And there are specific health decisions that we can help you make as a woman to ensure your longevity and your energy levels remain high. And then, of course, the health sector. Dr. Aesthetics has got two branches apart from the aesthetics. We have telemedicine. So I do a lot of online consultations with a lot of women who, just need that doctor at 9 p.m. Get the doc, are you able to go in online? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's chat. You're able to talk in that sense. So some book pre-hand, some are able to access me, and we do virtual consultations. And then concierge medicine, which is a new side of Dr. Aesthetics, whereby we look at our VIP guests flying in from the country, flying out from the country, and we're able to look at their health and give them the treatment that they need. So that's Dr. Aesthetics in a nutshell. Yes.
Wow. So what advice will you give maybe a young lady or a queen who's interested in doing what you are doing?
So the advice that I would give is, you need to spend a bit of time strategizing as to what you would like your practice or your business to be. Remember, you can go into aesthetics through the medical route as a doctor, or you can go through to it as a business. There are other ladies that I'm aware of who've got their own aesthetics practices, and they're not necessarily doctors. And then they say, Dr. Ntsako, can you come in, to partner with me or to assist me with some of the very difficult procedures that need to be done in their practice. So sit back, strategize, take a few months and understand what it is that you want to offer to the world. It doesn't help to go and purchase all the machinery. You can have a practice with all the machinery, but if you haven't specifically targeted to say, this is what I want to offer, this is my target market, and this is how I'm going to offer it to the world, you'll just find that it's not picking up as quickly as you want it to pick up.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can you please find what is a queen? And how do you define fixing each other's crown?
Okay, so a queen is one who understands, first of all, that she's the daughter of the Most High. So her home is of royalty. Wow, I can just imagine what my father's palace looks like. So whenever I think about it and I need to remind myself, I'm like, you're a queen. Remember, your father is the Alpha and the Omega. And just on a side note, that how I try and remind myself of the magnitude of my father is I love walking through nature. And there's a place that I go to that has a huge lake. And when I stand by that lake, I see how small I am in comparison to the lake. Then I say, oh, remember, Ntsako, that your father created that lake. And it means that he is greater than that lake. So you are of royal priesthood. You are of a line of royalty. Think about the Queen of England. Think about Prince William and all of them. They are of royal priesthood. That is a queen. One day we will sit and inherit our crowns, just like the monarchy in the United Kingdom, and become the actual queens that we deserve to be. It's just that for now, we are in these bodies and we're here on earth. So that is a queen to me. I didn't get the second part of the question. What is the second part?
Oh, that's the question that, okay, I asked you, how do you define fixing each other's crown?
Okay, so how I define fixing each other's crown is, as women, when we come with our stories, when we are honest with what we've been through, when we are honest with our experiences, we're able to teach someone else, how not to go through what we went through or how to overcome when they actually find themselves in that particular situation. So, if there was a woman who would be honest and say, listen, I went through a position whereby I lost everything. This is how I restored it. These are the investments that I went into. This is how I saved my money. This is where I put it away. Try it, Dr. Ntsako. Maybe it may make you recover quickly. So, that's how I define fixing each other's crowns. Like Sister Kani, you would come in and maybe find other ladies in construction and say, oh, Dr. Ntsako, you're on level 1. I'm now in level 3. How I can get you to level 3? These are the steps I took to get to level 3. It's not going to be easy, but this is the pathway that you should be following, a rough sort of direction. And before you know it, the queen is also in level 3. And mind you, it doesn't take away you, Sister Kani, from being at level 3, because by the time I catch up to level 3, you are in level 7, if there is such a thing in construction. So there's no competition whatsoever. And that's what I loved about this platform, that we are not here to compete, but we're here to say, I experienced, the bouncing back. And through what I learned, I want to share it with the ladies and the world to say, our God is a good God, but there are certain things that He taught me in the process. And these are the steps. I didn't cover all the steps. There's eating right in between. There's taking multivitamin supplements. There's walking in nature. There's techniques to decrease stress. There is a lot that I learned through this process. Yes.
Thank you so much. Can you please tell us where to find you if we want to come and support you? And how can we contact you in your social media?
Okay, so to support me, my practice is on number 161 Cluley Road, Limbro Park in Sandton. It's in an area with a dental clinic. We've partnered together in that place. That's where I am found. And in order to call me, you can call on 082-425-8252. And social media at Dr Drnmaesthetics. That's on Instagram and Facebook. And at Dr Ntsako Mbokota, also in Instagram. And where I speak, I haven't spoken in a year, but I've got a YouTube channel where I one of the things that helped me to bounce back was when I couldn't stand for a long time and I couldn't walk. I sat, put a camera in front of me, and I spoke on YouTube.
For the inspiration, for teaching us how to bounce back, and for your business, and also willing to collaborate with other women. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the queens that have tuned in. For more information, please contact us on 079-94-11033 or info@sawomendodubai.co.za. Let's keep on fixing each other's crown. #It can be done. I am my sister's keeper. Thank you for tuning in. Good night.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on @SA Women Do Dubai. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.